This is the demo video for the value scale practice for the monochromatic still life project. So first what you need to do is create 3 columns with 5 boxes in each. Label it tint, tone, and shade. Okay? Remember, tint is when you mix a hue and white, tone is when you mix a hue and gray, and shade is when you mix a hue and black. Make sure you have that written down in your notes. Let me make sure you guys can see what I am doing and can read it. It's probably the best we can get. Alright. So since there was a little bit of confusion on this project, I wanted to make a demo video. Alright? Even though I did a live demo in class. So first, make sure you're taking your straight edge. Guys, this should be done in your sketchbook, okay? You're drawing nice, neat squares, 3 columns, so 1, 2, 3 value scales with 5 boxes. Do not do more than 5 boxes, guys. Just do 5 boxes, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all right? Once again, if you don't have acrylic paint, which is just regular craft paint, for this assignment is all we're using, guys, you can use watercolor, oil pastels, colored pencils, whatever you have, okay? Something stuck to it. But for this assignment, it's kind of open. So whatever materials you have, you can use them. Just if you have some kind of crazy material for some reason, just let me know and I'll check you off for it, okay? So first, make sure you have your palette ready. You have blue, black, and white, okay? I have water, I have paper towels right here, and I have my brush. So I've now made my squares. I've labeled it tint, tone, and shade. Okay? So first we know that tint is when you take a hue, which is any color. Okay, so mine's blue. Alright? You take a hue and you mix it with white. So what you're going to do is just take a little white paint. Alright, start a little bubble right here. Are we looking at this? There's 2 ways you can do this, guys. You can start with white paint, okay? And then you can add a little bit of blue to it, just a touch of blue, mix it up. Okay? I have this super light blue color, see? Alright? This super light blue color would go right here. So since I've already done this for the in-class practice, it's kind of dark. So we'll just paint over it. So guys, if you mess up on this, just paint over it, okay? Once that paint dries, just do it over, okay? Nice and neat. Actually, I had a student help me. He went out of the box a little bit, but that's okay. Nice and neat. Guys, I want these done very neat. Just put this right over the top. You can see it's already trying to dry a little bit. Alright, there is your first one. First box right here. Then you'd add a little more blue. Make sure you're cleaning your brushes in between. So I told the in-class students, if you're putting your brush in the water to clean it and then putting it straight in here, this is going to get super watery and it's actually going to mess with your overall color, okay? So make sure you are keeping those clean. So you just add a little more blue. That's not quite dark enough. A little more blue. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Still a little light. Just keep adding a little more blue as you go. Alright? This is the practice before the big project, so you want to make sure you're getting this right. Alright, this might even be a different shade of blue than what we did with this original one. Who knows? Alright, paint that square. Obviously for time I'm not going to fill it up, but you guys at home need to fill up that whole square, so don't do them too big. So see how I can tell the difference? Alright, between the two? Taking more blue paint. Make sure you're mixing it in really well. Do not mix it together on the paper, okay? You want to mix together really, really well. Then I would put this one right here. Alrighty. See how I can tell? This one honestly needs to be even a little bit darker. So I can really see that difference. Still a little close. Alright, so see how we're just taking the same color we were already working on? Okay, we're just adding a little bit to it each time. So ideally you would let this dry and then paint over it, but for time I'm just going to do this, okay? Sounds a little bit darker. We're adding more blue paint. Alright, I hope you guys are doing this as we go, okay? Need more blue paint. Ideally, guys, don't do what I'm doing where I'm dipping it straight from the color into my little thing right here. Like dipping here to here. You would clean off your brush in between, but for time, because my videos, if they're too long, they don't like let me upload them for you, okay? So that's still too light, actually. So we're mixing, mixing, mixing. Still have white in here. Still the same color we originally started with, that super light blue. Okay, you're just adding more and more and more as you go. A lot darker, there we go. Alright, and then you would add even more blue here. So that last one should be super dark. This last one should be almost the color of the actual paint. Okay, so nice and dark for me. Make sure you're really mixing those. So yeah, I think my original blue is a lot darker than this one, so don't mind that guy, and it will dry darker. I actually want this even darker. Okay, just add a little bit each time. If it's not dark enough, add a little more, keep going, okay? Alrighty. So my blue is a little bit closer to this, so let me put some of the alright. This guy's probably a little bit better. Nice transition, darker. Okay, each box clearly looks different. Let me clean my brush. Alright, next, it doesn't really matter what order you guys do this in, okay? So, for example, I started with that white. I added just a touch of blue, and I built up more and more as I went, okay? Or you can take more blue, and then just add white as you go down. Doesn't matter how you do it, okay? So next, we're going to mix our, let's just do, so I want to show you the gray really quick. So you're going to put your white, your brush is nice and clean. You're going to put your white right here. Alright guys, you need the tiniest bit of black. Like, can you see my thing? Barely any black, okay? I got barely any black right here. Mixing, mixing. Gonna make a nice gray color. Maybe just a touch more. Alright, super, super light. Now we have this nice light gray color, okay? You see that? You're going to take your solid blue. Pretend to clean my brush. Okay, now you're going to take your solid blue. Dip it into here just a tiny bit, right? This is your lightest square. So you're starting with your gray. You're going to make a gray. Mix just the touches, the tiniest bit of blue, so you have this nice light gray bluer with just blue color. Geez, I can't talk. With just a little bit of gray, okay? It's a little bit of blue, a little bit of gray. Then you're gonna clean your brush off. You're gonna add a little bit more. All right. Little bit more goes right here. All right. Add a little bit more. Goes right here. Add a little bit more. So I'm just building, okay? Once again, if you want to start with the blue and then mix the gray, it's kind of a reverse process, but you can. I won't. It's just kind of whatever you want to do. So I suggest starting with that gray like we did. Okay, mixing just a little blue. Where did we stop? Right here. Is that one dark enough? Nope. Add some more blue. Once again, guys, I'm using a different shade of blue than the example I have right here already made, just because we had a different blue that day in class. That's why it looks a little bit different. Alright, mix it up super well. Is that better? Still too light. I want to see a big change between these guys. I want to see that you're grasping that the difference, okay? You're adding enough, so if they look super close, I won't really be able to tell that you added more, okay? That's better. Alright, can we see that? Alright, still mixing. Taking more blue. Mix it in the same one, guys. Still got that nice gray color. Make sure when you're doing this you mix enough gray. Alright, so when you get all the way to the bottom you have enough. Alrighty, there's my gray-blue color right there. Okay, you can see the change between all of these, yes? Alrighty. Lastly, so guys, once again, that black goes really far on this, okay? So what I want you to do is, let me go grab some more paint, so just hold tight, actually.